Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday, September 13th. We are looking at the S&P futures, getting ready for the trading day. Late last week, markets rolled over to the new contract, so things get a little thin here. But the S&P did jump price a little bit, so I don't want to look at the continuous contract because it gets a little bit funky. Anyway, just looking at sort of what's been going on here, and you can see, so if we go to a bigger time frame, let's just zoom out a little bit. This is the 8 hour. So we had this low, high, pull back to another low, push all the way up to this high. So this red bracket is sort of where we're at. And then we just pulled right back and just probed this low a little bit. There's an argument to be made that this low isn't even that significant compared to this one here. And then now we're pushing up. So there was a bunch of volume right here. You can kind of see it. It's not as pronounced on this contract, but you can see it right here. And on the continuous contract, we actually went right into that. Or I should say on the September contract, we actually went right into that. I'm not going to bother pulling up the September contract right now, but on the December contract, we stayed a little bit above it. Again, there was about a 10-point difference between the September and the December contract. So actually, when I did my analysis on Friday, my levels were a little off because I was looking at the September contract and price had jumped based on what was going on. I was looking at the continuous contract. So now that we're sort of here, right, this 8 hour kind of pullback, what we want to see, is are we going to continue down and take out this low? And remember, there is this little bit of support here, or are we going to just kind of push back up a little bit? And that's really what I want to see. So when we look at this on a bit of a more granular level, you can see kind of we came from this high, pulled all the way down, made a lower high. This wasn't a fresh low, so I don't really care much about this lower high here. This is the big one that I care about. That's why I have this orange channel starting from there. So is this high down to this low? That's the big move that I'm really most concerned about. And you can see kind of how this trend is working its way down. So when I'm looking at this, excuse me, when I'm looking at this, what I'm really trying to get a feel for is, where is all this going to go? Let me just try and grab this here if I can. Where's all this going to go? And if we look at it, actually, let me pull up. I am going to pull up the September contract. I think it might be a little bit cleaner with the volume and such. So when we look at this this price action, we want to get a feel for if it's gonna, if it's gonna come up and then continue down, where would it come up to? Let's take a look at volume. I think we get a little bit better volume on the September contract, just looking back into the history of the chart. Remember, these levels aren't going to be completely accurate because we did have a little bit of a jump down when they rolled the contract. But considering that this was really with the move right here, right? So it's this, right? That's the move that we're looking at. And let's make this a little thicker. So now we're just looking for a pullback up into this area. We want this low to hold if we're going to take, or this high to hold right here at around 45.30 if we're going to take this low out. And based on volume, a logical place for that to happen would be up here at this top. So it would be, something like this would be like the swing move if we're going to take out, if we're going to take out this low, it would look like that, right? If we're going to do that. Now, I don't know that we're going to do that because, like I said, we're kind of just barely probed this low here, not very convincingly. And then there's this bunch of volume that was right here. And if we look at that, you can just see it kind of right there. There's some more right here on the way down. This is kind of where we stopped yesterday, or Friday rather. We just pulled right back down into this. So I guess what I'm getting at is we could go sideways. We could really go sideways because we had, again, this sort of channel right here, this is really one swing up, and then we're just retracing. barely took out that low, like just barely. And we really could want to come back up and test these highs up here. So it would be interesting to see. Let me just get this out of the way for a second. Be interesting to see if we come all the way back up. But even still here, like this is still, that's still kind of protected there. So yeah, we'll see how far it goes. I mean, obviously this is a 4 hour time frame, so I'm not day trading off of this, but we just want to get an idea of what we can expect price to do. Are we expecting price to rally today? I wouldn't mind if it does. I have some short-term positions that I bought into down here, so I wouldn't mind shaving some of those off, taking some profit off, reducing risk a little bit. And then, like I said, we could kind of continue down. If we look at this on the 1 hour, again, what we want to look at is this move. I call it the zigzag, right? Because it's just zigzag. That's the move. This is our volume. Ties in right with this volume here. So you could try and take it off of this low, right? That's definitely an option, is to just have some really tight risk like that. I mean, you do have this nice reversal candle, and there's quite a bit of volume there. This is a really nice level if you look at it across this hourly time frame, because as we get into here, you can see how this level has been respected. So we have, here's my marker, we have resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, right? So it's been a kind of a key area. So I wouldn't, this wouldn't be a bad idea to take a trade from somewhere up here. And if we look at this on the smaller time frame, there's a decent little chunk of volume in there, like on the 15-minute. Let's take a look. Right in here, that little consolidation. So this is an area, and I would look at this on the December contract, but this is an area that I would be interested in taking a short, at least for even if it doesn't come all the way down and take out this low, you could probably at least get it down to like some of these areas. I mean, there's so much imbalance here of selling, really aggressive selling all the way down here. So I wouldn't mind a short off of 45.12-ish, 45.11. That's a pretty decent looking little trade. So that's something that I'll keep an eye on. And again, I'm just going to go back to my December contract, because here we're looking at this, right? This volume right here. You can see on the September contract is a little bit more pronounced, but this is the volume that we are looking at. And we want to see if price can react to that level, somewhere around here. Not as much volume here, because this is, again, as we rolled. So this is the tricky thing about contract rollover, is especially if price jumps and then if your volume gets skewed a little bit. But this would be the kind of thing that I'd be looking to do, something like that. You can get easily a 1.5 risk reward if you want to on that. Again, you may try to take it further, but I would at least be controlling your risk and maybe shaving some parts off of that position. This is a strong level too in here, but at this point, I think we're going to take out the liquidity above this high. There's probably a bunch of stop losses from people that were trying to run this trend down. So I wouldn't be surprised for us to take that liquidity out. And again, if we test this area, that would be a nice area to consider going short. Like I said, I don't know that we're going to continue all the way down. I think we might get a little bit of a reaction off of here, and then I wouldn't mind seeing us kind of rally on up again, unless we're going to make a deeper retracement on the higher time frame. Sorry, I've got a ton of profiles on here. It's a little bit messy. So that's just the kind of stuff that I'm looking at this morning. And then, on this 5-minute chart right now, we are just sort of climbing our way up here, right? So we're doing something like this, however you want to kind of draw your trend line. But I don't take trend lines too like literally, so to speak. I just like to kind of be aware of, this movement to this movement. We're kind of coming into, we can expect some sort of reversals in this area, and this is where we see volume there. So that would be kind of the area. Again, if you want to be more conservative, you put your stop above this high here, but that's a big old stop. That's definitely more of a swing trade. That's definitely going to be, if you're taking that, you want to expect this thing to go all the way down. In the meantime, we can trade the way up. And this level here, 44.7625, is a very significant level. If we look at this entire auction, you know, very big level of volume right here rather. And if we push our way through it, again, might get a little bit of stalling around here. There's a bunch of volume throughout here. So we want to be aware of that. Like a lot of volume right there. And that's actually our current point of control. And so we could stall there a little bit on our way up. And then once we clear that, then I think, this becomes the next stop. This level across here becomes really our next area of interest where we want to be definitely, watching close how price reacts to some of these areas. But this is definitely an area of interest for me to keep an eye on. But again, this level here is not bad, right? Like we're coming up through here. I mean, this level's not bad. I just don't think, I think at this point, with this being taken out, I think we're probably going to run up and test. I wouldn't even be surprised if we test this upper end, to be honest with you. And again, I'm going to be shaving off some of my kind of swing positions at that point. So, watch out. Basically, we're sitting right kind of on top of a big support resistance level right now at 44.7625. You want to watch out at about 44.85. So we got about, from where we are right now, about 7 points to the upside before there's a bunch more resistance. And then we're looking at the 4,500 level, big psychological level too. So that's the level I like for going to the short side. If we're going to trade to the short side, otherwise I'd be looking basically to take it long up to there and just being aware of some of these other levels in between. That's what I'm kind of keeping my eye on, is I'd like to see us get up to that level. Looking at this on a 5-minute chart, nothing really major that we don't see on the 15 right now. And we'll just have to see how the market opens up. So that's what I've got for you guys this morning. It's Monday. We like to take it slow on Mondays. And if you want to join us in the trade room, dpmtrades.com, click on community. We do have a free option for the chat room there. So you're more than welcome to join us and just join our community. And I'm usually streaming between 9:30 and about 11:30 or so. And then, yeah, we'll just take it from there, guys. Otherwise, enjoy your trading. Hope you have a great day and a good start to the week.